I'm excited to talk to you today because I'm going to share a few simple strategies that help me double my sales and qualify better. And so, one of the things that we have to do is to grow our business is we have to bring in more conversations or more leads. But once we get those leads, we have to have a way to qualify them and then convert them. Because if we don't, then we still leave money on the table, and other people come in and by just saying a few simple things, they get the business instead of us. So the first thing you need to do when you get more conversations is you have to qualify them quickly. And so you should have a bank or a list of about 4 to 5, maybe 6 qualifying questions that you can ask that let you know in the first few minutes which path you're going to take your clients down. There's two paths in the beginning from my perspective. Before I get into it, make sure you like and subscribe this video if you find it informational for you. Um, Follow me on this channel. I share a lot of things about how you can grow revenue, about how to price properly, formulaically instead of guessing your prices. But I share a lot of tips in this journey of creating a business that's successful and sustainable. Thank you so much. So back to this. So qualifying questions. What we need to do is we have to qualify people because if we don't, um, we could spend a ton of time. I've spent as much as 2 hours of time with people only to find out in the end something I could have asked uh, an hour and 58 minutes ago instead of 2 hour mark, right? Which is number one, are you working with anybody else, right? Or not, let's make that number three. The first thing is, are they interested in what you do? A really simple question. So for me, it's business coaching. If I'm talking about revenue or business building, I'm going to say, do you, how important is building your revenue on a scale of 1 to 10? Like that's a really easy answer. It's non-invasive, but that's going to let me know right off the bat, like where they're at. So the second thing I could say is, are you seeking to get to get help, or are you doing anything to get better at building your revenue right now? That's going to let me know if they're working with somebody or maybe they have a program. If they say they're working with somebody, I say that's fantastic. I hope that it works out the best. How long are you working with them? That lets me know. And if they say, oh, I just started, it's a 6 month program. So at 5.5 months, I'm going to contact them back again and set up another call if it seems like it's a good fit. Because sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't work out with people we hire. We all know that, right? The next question I'm going to ask is, are they looking for this result now? So if they say, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, building revenues is 7, and I'd say, well, okay, that's good enough. Or they say an 8 or a 9. Are you working with anybody or doing anything about it? Not right at the moment. When do you plan on working on this? That's going to let me know if I go take them down the sales path or I take them down asking for a referral today and then putting them in my tickler file, my contact later file to get in touch with them when they're ready. If they say, yeah, I've been thinking about it, that means they're ready if they get the right thing presented to them. So they're going down my sales path. The other thing I'm going to say is, have you worked with anybody else before on this specific topic? If they say yes, I'm going to say, what was your experience like? Did you get the results you were seeking? If they say no, it really didn't work out, I'm going to ask a question. What do you think it was that uh, made it not work as well? And if they blame it on the other person, that's okay. I just need to know where they're at to know what I have to overcome or show more of if they're a good fit for me. So if I ask these questions, so I wrote them down, so I'm reading them right now, but are you seeking to get this type of result? If they say yes, I'll say when. If they say now, I'll say, are you working with anybody or are you taking a program that's going to help you with that right now? If they say no, I'll say, when are you looking to get this result, this improvement, whatever it is the right words are? If they say now, I'll say, have you ever worked with anybody? So, and then lastly, I'm going to say, why do you want to accomplish all of this? Why do you want this result? What's it mean for you? What are you going to be able to do or have when you get this result that you haven't had before? What I'm just doing right then is I'm transitioning them from logical to emotional. We have to cross that bridge, you guys. We got to go from logic to justify the interest and the cost. And this solidifies that it's worth the investment, the emotional side. We have to combine those together. So that last question is as important as the previous five. And again, it's why do you want to accomplish all of this or this result? And what would it mean to you when you get it that you haven't been able to have, do, or be before that result shows up? That combines that threshold and takes me over into the emotions. So once I have that, right, in place, and I would practice these, you guys, write them down, slow down this video, write these questions down. They are money. The next thing is you have to ask in some way, are they willing to spend or invest? Right. So, hey, we talked about all these. You say that you're kind of ready now and you're looking for things. Are you seriously committed to investing in yourself to get this result? And do you understand the importance of this result? In my case with revenue, do you understand that without revenue coming in, it's going to be really hard for you to make buying decisions or hiring decisions? And so revenue is a must. We have to increase our revenue as business owners. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to ask in some way, are they willing to spend or invest in help, or are they trying to figure it out on their own? So I would just say, hey, I kind of get that you're kind of ready and you're serious about making this happen or getting this result. Are you ready to invest in yourself right now and get the help, or are you trying to do it all on your own? And both of those work. I just want to know. So again, non-invasive, but I'm getting some really solid answers that help me take them down the sales path, even if they're resistant to it. Because the next question I'm going to ask, if they say, no, I'm going to figure it out on my own, I'm going to say, do you do this often? And they'll say, what? And I'll say, figure things out on your own. If they say yes, I'll say, how does it work for you on a scale of 1 to 10? Does it help you launch at the pace that you want, or does it hold you back a little bit? And they're at that point, we've been talking long enough, they're probably going to be pretty honest. And if they say it holds me, yeah, it holds me back somewhat. And I'll say, does it hold you back to the point where it's costing you money or it has cost you money? Don't. And I'll just say, so if you had the right thing and it made sense, and there was a timeline that you got your ROI, your return on your investment, would you consider it? Yes. Boom. I'm taking you down the sales path. Absolutely not. I'm just at a point where I'm not going to afford it. I'm not doing this. I'm going to take you down. I'm asking you for a referral today, and I'm going to put you in a file that I'm going to reach back out to you within a few months, have another conversation with you. And then I'm going to remind you 3 months ago, we talked. Here's where you're at. If you're still here, it might be time to make that investment. So you see how these questions can really help you to get to the point where you're taking them down a sales path, even if you can only walk them halfway down. Having that follow-up strategy in place is going to be money. That's how you can double, triple, or quadruple your sales. Now I'm going to share a story. And the story with these people are, I recently worked with somebody. So come up with a case study testimonial where you can share that you've worked with someone else. This is not quite independent, but it's third-party credibility and something that can tip the scale on a sale. So I can say I recently worked with someone with this simple adjustment. We took their revenue from where they were at and increased it over 40% within 4 weeks. Within 8 weeks, they were able to hire their up-level assistant, which within 2 weeks was doing the work that they were doing and actually doing it better than they were, which freed them up to helping them grow their sales, grow their income, and adjust the programs that they've been waiting 2 years to adjust. So by sharing a story, again, it's not quite independent, but it's third-party credibility that they can put themselves in that story. And the last thing that I would just say is have a good follow-up strategy to this. Anybody that you're talking to, if you really want to double your sales really quickly, ask the qualifying questions, ask have a relatable story to it, and then have a good follow-up system. Make sure that you schedule another appointment before you get off that conversation with them. And then once you do that, send them an email a day later. Thank them for their time. Make some observations, what you observed in your conversation. Remind them what you talked about. Remind them what you're excited about, right? And the last thing you want to do is you want to have one more outreach, either in a text or a phone call. Those two are much more personal than an email. So you want to do your phone call, set that appointment, send an email afterward, and about a week later, send a text or a phone call. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I saw your number. I'm just checking in. How's it going? Da da da. Keep top of the mind with these people. The more frequently they remember us, the easier it is for them to remember us, right? I know it makes sense, but in the times when, if we don't talk to them for 4, 6, or 8 weeks and somebody else comes in, it's going to be tough for them to try to remember us. So use this to double your sales, and you will actually grow your business faster. You'll have a lot more fun, and you'll have a lot of shorter conversations because you'll know whether to take them down a sales path within the first few minutes or to take them down asking for a referral path and contact them later. Thank you very much.